Okay. Good day, everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Welcome to the second installation of Learning to Paint with me, Peter A. We're going to paint today, or I'm going to paint today, Season 3, Episode 13 of The Joy of Painting, entitled Peaceful Waters. I actually have a picture of it. This is the painting that I plan on doing today. Bob did not paint this. His son Steve did. This episode, Bob and his son Steve were answering questions. And as Bob read the questions, his son Steve would paint. So we're going to try to recreate this painting today. Let's see. And put us back to the right spot. There we go. So let's get started. First thing we do is we need to coat the canvas with a thin coat of liquid white. And hey, Zach, how are ya? So I'm going to put a little bit of liquid white on my canvas. Now again, I'm using a piece of canvas paper taped to an actual canvas. So it gives me the feeling of a canvas, but it's a piece of paper. We're going to give this a thin, even coat of the liquid white. More. Line this in really good so it's spread out nice and thin. Go over it with vertical strokes and horizontal strokes to make sure it's spread evenly across your canvas. Okay. Then we do the old finger test. You lightly touch the canvas and you should have a little bit on your finger, and I'm missing some right in the middle, so it's let's give it another test. There we go. Much better. So the first thing we're going to do is add the sky and some water. So we need to use a little bit of phthalo blue. Oh, actually, let me put the there we go. There's the colors I'll be using today. I noticed last week they were all mushed together. StreamYard on my side, it looked like there was nice spaces in between of them, between the words. But then when I went and looked at it after, it was all smushed together. So hopefully that's a little better. So it's phthalo blue. And so I'm going to take a little bit of phthalo blue. I'm going to load it onto a 1-inch brush. And tap it lightly. Make sure it's evenly distributed across the bristles. And then using the little X strokes, we're going to fill in the top part of the sky. Now, as you add paint to the canvas and go down, it mixes with the liquid white and gets lighter. So, and you want to kind of leave these little crisscross patterns in, gives the sky some movement. Now we're going to take and add a little bit of Phthalo Green to it, just a touch for the water. Mix it with the blue. And then these need to be straight strokes into the center. And we want to leave a little spot of white to make it have like a shimmer in the end, in the middle. Make sure these are straight. Okay. So now I'm going to take a clean brush, just lightly go over this to blend it out. Just using the little crisscross strokes and working my way up from the light to the dark. And what you can do is, once you're done, just move back a little and take in what you've done and see if you want to change it at all. That smoothed out just a little more. And then down the bottom, you just want to blend this in. Some straight strokes. And there we go. These are sky and water. Clean my brush with odorless paint thinner. Oop. I wish I had the little pole or the thing to bang it on like Bob did, but I don't. The brush is clean. So now, just going to clean up my palette a little since I don't need these colors anymore. Just wipe it off. There we go. Now, we'll take a little titanium white and make some clouds. Okay. Use a fan brush for this. And we're going to load up the fan brush with a lot of paint. A second. Go in and load the brush up with a lot of paint. Wiggle it back and forth. Loads it between the bristles. And now, using the very top of the fan brush, I'm going to make little circles and add a cloud in. Like so. Now, you can see the end of the brush gets blue on it from the sky. So what you do is you wipe this off on a paper towel so you don't contaminate the white with the blue as much. So Wipe some of that blue off, so then when I go back into the white, it's not filling up with the blue too. So now let's go back in, grab some more white. And another cloud. Start right here. Go in circular motions. And there's a cloud. Excuse me. So now we're going to take clean, dry 2-inch brush and blend out the bottom. Just a couple of bristles. And just lightly blend the bottom of the cloud. You don't want to touch the top. Just use a little circular motion and blend out the bottom. Then, I will gonna just give it a little brush to get rid of any extra paint that's on it. And then I'm going to fluff the cloud with a circular motion, just lightly touching it. Fluff it up and over it lightly. There we go. Now on this cloud, let's bottom out. Move the excess paint, fluff it. Barely touching the canvas. And then slightly across to remove any brush marks. And voila, 2 clouds. So, here, dirty brushes. Next, we need to put a mountain. So we're going to take some Dyke Brown, Prussian Blue, Dyke Brown go. This. All right. So we're going to take. Now I could just use what they call mountain mix. It's pre-mixed, but I'm going to go with what they use to do it. Some blue. Some brown. And a little bit of the Alizarin Crimson. Now, knife, mix these up real good. Just want a nice dark color. You should pick the paint up, flip it over, pick the paint up, flip it over, spread it out. Okay. So now, off my knife, I'll make a mountain. Take a roll, little roll of paint, if you can see that, the edge of the knife, and we're gonna make a mountain. Let's start right here. There's a peak. and I'm really pushing this in and then scraping it back off. Oh, a roll of paint. Let's make another peak, say right here. All off. Some more. Let's have another little peak down here. Spread this out a little bit. You just want to keep that nice edge along the top. One more little peak over here. Off my knife. Take clean. Use a 1-inch brush and pull this color down. Pull it all out to the bottom. Now you can actually almost see the way the mountains are going to be, or plan out your mountains with these brush strokes. Just want to get it to go soft down at the bottom. This way. And it just kind of looks like it's floating there. Okay. There's the start of our mountains. Hey, Nicola. How are you? All right. So let's get some titanium white. Add some highlights. Sure, my knife is clean. Pull this out. A little roll of paint on. About adding some snow. Yeah, I'm going to try to do at least one a week. Thursdays at 3 right now. It might change depending on if I'm going to watch any court. I might move it to the weekend, but right now it's going to be Thursdays at 3. All right, so let's add some highlight. Just barely touch and pull down and let the paint break. If again. Now I have a it's basically just hanging in my hand. I don't put my finger on it, hold it tight. You just want it to lightly touch the canvas and then pull it. There we go. So light, it fell right out of my hand. Well, this and one. Pull it down. There we go. More over here. Nope. Yeah, no, send me a pic. I'll try painting it. I gotta do one actually. Here's one that Sue sent me that I'm gonna try to do at some point. Whether I can do it or not is another thing. But I'll give it a try. Go. Nice highlight. So roll it over here. Add a little more in here. Looks pretty good. A bit more here. There we go. That looks pretty good. So let's make up some shadow color. So I'll take some of this white over there. Take a little bit of Prussian blue. That's a little Prussian blue. Just a tiny bit. Let's add a tiny bit of this dark in with it. See how this works. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. So let's get a little on this one. Just want to add some shadow in, so it gives it some depth. Need a little. I'm gonna use little end of the knife to get in here. Some shadow down there. I don't know if that shows up that good on the camera. It needs to be a little bluer to see it. Let's see. It's okay. Some shadow down this way. There we go. What else we can do is connect them. These two are more connected. Right. More shadow in here. I think that looks pretty good. How about we extend this over here? Now, add some shadow. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks like a pretty good amount. So, take a clean. Use this one. It's fairly clean. 2-inch brush. And we're just going to take it and lightly tap. And this creates mist at the bottom. You need to follow the way that the land goes when you're doing this. Lightly tap, 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 tap. And over here, go this way. Okay. And lightly pull it up. Get rid of all those brush marks. Make it look like a mist. Again, following the way the land would go. Okay. So here we go. That looks pretty good. So what's next? What's next? We need to make some color up for some foothills. I need to put some foothills. So for the foothills, I need some Prussian Blue, Dyke Brown, a little titanium white. So let's clean up the palette a little bit. Some more room for work. Let's take this, put that over here. Wipe off the palette. I don't know how Bob or any of them work with a big palette and mixing paint. It drives me crazy having paint everywhere. So, what do I said I need? I need Prussian Blue. No, foothills. Yeah, Prussian Blue, Dyke Brown, and titanium white. So, let's take some Prussian Blue. I think I might need a little more than that. And Dyke Brown. And some titanium white, which is right here. So grab a glob of this. Let's see what this gives us. Kind of a bluish color. So now I want it a little lighter. Knife before I go in there. Mix this up good. Kind of a bluish green almost. Okay. Clean up my knife. Let's see, let's take a 1-inch brush. Then load up the 1-inch brush. Tap it into the color. And then, so got a good amount of paint. As you can see, it's rolled over. But normally you use the roll over side to apply highlights. I'm actually going to use the other side to apply the foothills. So now, let's see. I need, let's start up here, and I'm just going to mush this paint right on. Small. High. Didn't make enough paint, but it's all right. Make up some more. It's down to here. I'm just going to tap and kind of fill in. Okay. Here's my first foothill. Go far enough? I think so. So now what I'm going to do is take short, very short strokes and lift up and make it look like there's little tops of trees across the top of these foothills. And it makes it look like there's all kinds of tree tops sticking up. Just barely touching it and bringing up little tops of the trees. And then you can go along and do another row right below it. You probably can't see this, but when you're close up to the canvas, you can see little pole marks that end up looking like treetops later. So there's my first row of foothills. So I'm going to darken this using this, some of this dark color that we had from the mountain. Add that in. See if we can darken this down a couple of shades. As you come forward in a painting. Things like foothills, each layer would get darker as it's coming towards you. Let's make that a little, let's be a little darker. I'm going to add some brown, some more Dyke Brown. Maybe a touch more blue to it. Blue. Blue. That should make it much darker. Let's give that a try with my knife. Brush. Let's see. A little darker, that looks better. See, oh yeah, that's showing up. Move this in a little bit. And just tapping until it fills in. And then that looks pretty good. I want to pull up, get some treetops on this one. Short little strokes. Along the top. Maybe a little bit down in here. Okay, so now I need to add some reflections. So let's add some down here into the water where the foothills might be reflected. So some color in here. All right. Now, clean your brush. I'm going to pull these reflections down. I'm going to pull these straight down. The land's in a little more there. Straight down. And clean this a little bit. And go lightly across. Kind of blur them. Voila. Have some reflections. Okay. So next we gotta do is add a water line. So, a little bit of liquid white. too much. Put that right here. And I want a little bit of Dyke Brown. Hey, Baker, how you doing? You still there? Happy trees are coming. A little bit of brown. So, all right, so now we got to add a water line. Now, this needs to be straight, flat, and pressed in very hard. So, start here. I'm really cutting in to make that water line. Some more on there. And if you make a mistake and you add too much or it's not in the right place, if you keep going over it, it'll actually disappear. Start here. There we go. A water line. I like when I do my water lines, I'll do one, it'll come across, and then I'll bump it up a little so it looks like the land goes in a little bit. Okay. I don't see I can't see the chat. No, I'm not using acrylic. I'm using oil paints like Bob Ross did. They're actually Bob Ross paints. And like I said, trees are next. So let's move on. We're going to make some evergreens on this side. Evergreen or two, and little bushes, and something on the other side. So I need to mix up for that some Sap Green, Dyke Brown, and Prussian Blue, along with all of this leftover dark pink. Can use all of this. So Dyke Brown. Sap Green and Prussian Blue. And Dyke Brown. I'm going to need a good amount of this. So this will be for the rest of the painting. Sap Green. Some Prussian Blue. Okay, let's mix this up. Over there. It up, flip it over, spread it out. Sure it's mixed good. See this green get mixed. Okay. Lean off the knife again. So now, let's make an evergreen. Take a fan brush, load it up with some paint. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Sneaky. All right, what am I doing here? We're gonna add right here. Now take the corner of the brush and just start tapping. And as you work your way down, you go from left to right, using more and more of the brush as you do it. Sometimes you got to turn your brush over because you run out of paint. You want to go down to a little farther. Reload our brush. I think he needs a little friend. Same thing. Start tapping, tap, tap. Back and forth. And voila. Start of two evergreens. All right. So now I'm going to highlight those. I think I want another tree there. Be a little different than what Bob and his son did. Another one right here. Tap, tap. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now, let's add some bushes and stuff. I'm going to use the fan brush and put in some bushes right here. Have it come down. Fill this all in. Let me see. What did they do? There we go. It's going to be a little different than what they did, but you should never try to recreate something exactly because you never will. Let's bring this out a little bit. It's not there. And let's just fill this in so we have some land here. Our bushes to live on. And put some stuff in for reflections. Just fill this in and then pull it down. There's a tree here, trees here. Ooh. Hit the canvas. It's a happy mistake. Just fix that right up. There we go. Okay. So now, clean brush again. Pull these down. Across. There we go. And some reflections. The start of reflections. All right. So let's highlight some bushes. Okay. First, actually, though, we need to add some trunks to the trees. So take a little bit of Dyke Brown. A little bit of white. I'm going to do like a marble mix. Get out black, get a little roll of paint. And then just show a little bit of trunk here and there. Put some trunks in. Some other bushes that these will all get covered up, but pieces might peek out. Then we can take the top, actually give it a nice straight top. Some scratches in there. All right, now we can highlight. So let me clean up here a little bit. This out of the way. Catherine, I'm using oil, just like Bob Ross did. Okay. So more clean up here. A little room to work. Need to get a bigger palette, I think. Okay. So now you want to do some highlights. So I'm going to use some yellow ochre. Where's my yellow ochre? Here it is. Some ochre. Some sap green. A little bit of cadmium yellow. Yep, and it's Bob Ross brand. And yellow. So now I'm going to use a foliage brush. So 1-inch foliage brush. I think they used a 1-inch brush. We'll dip it into a bit of liquid white. That helps thin the paint, so the thinner paint will stick to the thicker paint that's on the canvas already. I'll pull out some of this yellow ochre. And you know, actually, I want to highlight the evergreens first. Give me. Let's take some liquid white and some of the kind of a lighter green. Maybe it'll show up on the evergreens better. All right, let's put some highlights on these. You don't want to fill in the thing heavy with highlights. You want a lot of the dark to be showing through on evergreens or pine trees. That one. Color there. One more. This guy right here. Tap, tap, tap. And 3 evergreens. So here's my highlight brush. So now let's put some highlights on here. Some yellow. Green. Push right there. Actually put some of that color down in the water. Should have put some of that other color. I'll add it afterwards. So, let's put one down here. A little bit in the water. This color. And put this down in the water. Get some stuff down here. Reflections for it. A little green. Some foliage there. Get a little green in here. Okay. That looks pretty good. Turn those into reflections. We'll pull them down. I pulled them too much. Lightly across. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now we need to put some dirt in there for that to live on, because it can't just be floating on nothing. Take a little bit of Dyke Brown. Take my knife. Take some brown and add a little bit of dirt right down here. Come on. And as I add it, it's going to be wider down here, and as I go down, it'll be smaller, so it looks like it's going farther away for the perspective. I just add some, a little bit of dirt down here. Right down to the end. There. So now we just need to add a little highlight. So we take a little white, mix it with the brown. More. Take that and lightly go across. Just give it the look of some rocks and dirt. All kinds of things. A little more. And at the end, knife. A little bit of this dirty water from the water line. Put in the water line. Start down here. A bit more. And voila, a water line. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Clean off my towel here. Need a new one. So that's pretty good. So now, in my dark brush, add something over here on this side. So let's take some of this dark color that we had made up. And hold it up. There we go. So let's put right here. Tree right there. Some more. Comes down. Goes right down to here. Oh, no, just fill this all in. And I always aim to try to not have any leftover paint on my palette. I have a hard time with wasting paint. I don't know what to do with the leftover, especially if I squirt out a lot. And people say to put it in the freezer, but okay. So there, let's make this tree a little bigger. Let's make him stand up here. There we go. All right. Let's give him a trunk. Here's my little knife. Okay. Trunk stuff is right here. So she starts about here. Just kind of put something in for a trunk. Maybe a branch that way. A couple of branches. You know, a lot of these will get covered up by the highlight, but a few might poke through. So there's the tree trunk. You can scrape in some other stuff down here. That'll show up later. So now, let's do some highlighting. Back into my highlight brush. A bit of liquid white. Let's make this one green. Pull this through, load it up good. And start at the top. And try to think of like form what the tree would look like, the branches, the way they would sit. There we go. Some more. Down. So, and then maybe one more row of them. And I think that's our tree. There we go. So now let's do some bushes. Liquid white, too much. Load that up good. And let's say there's a bush that's right here. Little brother right there. Maybe just one down here at the end. Some yellow. Some grass is growing down here. I think this is just going to be grass. Some green. I think that's it. I think we got to finish painting. You sign it. Brush and some red. Tiny bit of red. And let's see, it needs thinner. That's way down. the signature. Here we go. Oh, thank you. I think it came out pretty good. Probably going to try it again. I usually do a painting 2 or 3 times. But yeah, no, it came out pretty good this time. Actually, I got to figure out what number it is. I don't remember. I think it's 49. Oh, I can't see. Great. What was the last one? $47. So this one will be $48. Let's put it on there. There we go. So I haven't decided on my next one. I might put a poll up and have you pick from 3 or 4 of them. But keep an eye on my channel. I'll post something in the community in the next day or two what I'm going to paint. But I think that's it for now. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you all next time. Thanks.